Welcome to Yellow Brick Road. I'm Jordan. This is James, and today we're going to talk about Tulsi Gabbard's appearance on the CNN Town Hall. But first, please consider donating to Devon's Journey to Recovery. The link is in the description box, and the website is in the intro to this video. Very important that, at the very least, you check out the site, read the story, and it might compel you to donate. Hopefully, we have Tulsi Gabbard here, who's pro Medicare for all. So that would eliminate the need to donate to such things. You can start giving money to us. So please consider donating. Link in the description box. It's a GoFundMe account. Okay, so last night I watched the entire Tulsi Gabbard CNN town hall, and there were certain questions that I wanted to bring up for a video. So we're gonna do like a highlighted version. We're not going over the entire thing. We have questions about Syria, questions about Ilhan Omar and the anti-Semitic shit, and the last one was, the fuck was the last one? Oh, socialism. Photographic memory.
Yeah, okay.
Nah, I literally saw the words in my head.
All right.
I'm just saying.
Keep saying.
All right, so these are sort of, after watching the whole thing, these seem to me like the other questions are important too, but I already sort of knew the answers that she was going to say for those. But these ones are like, okay, let's hear, like I want to hear every angle of this as possible. So here we go.
Syria. We actually have a question on that. I want to bring in Jessica James, a consultant from New Jersey.
Hi, thank you. Do you remain skeptical, as you were in 2017, that Bashar al-Assad used chemical warfare against Syrian civilians?
I want to correct that because there's been some misunderstanding.
Yeah, for the answer you gave on The View, not a lot of people like that. They're like, where's the evidence for you to say that? For sure, he's a dictator, and he definitely gassed his own people.
Yeah, I was like, fuck you.
A lot of people were like, fuck you.
Yeah.
So that's why this question is very important. So let's hear her answer.
There have been reports showing that chemical weapons have been used in Syria, both by the Syrian government as well as different terrorist groups on the ground in Syria. The skepticism and the questions that I raised were very specific around incidents that the Trump administration was trying to use as an excuse to launch a U.S. military attack in Syria.
So
there you go.
So her answer is both sides used chemical weapons, but what she questioned in particular was Trump's 50-plus warheads. Not warheads, what are they called? Whatever, missiles. 50-plus missiles he shot into Syria. I think it was like 52 or something like that. And
even if it's one.
And we were watching that as it was happening, and we hear Mattis go up to a podium and say, well, we're waiting for the evidence to come in, or something like that. And it's like, you bombed first, and then you're looking for evidence? What?
Yeah, I know.
The fuck?
It's like, literally, like, what the fuck? Are you kidding me? We attack first, find evidence later.
Yeah.
Huh?
So questioning it is too light of a word for me. If I'm on that stage, I'm like, what the fuck were they doing? What the fuck? No, absolutely no evidence, and you just go and bomb a country. Yeah, we did that before with Iraq. It's like people forgot that, or maybe the kids up and coming don't remember that, which is why we did that Bill O'Reilly video.
Yeah.
It's like, here you go, kiddies. Like, this shit happened. National TV would probably one of the biggest audiences for news. Bill O'Reilly definitely had one of the biggest audiences for that shit. And he is, yeah. And he was the harshest version, but the rest were still advocating for war.
Oh, sure.
Like, very few here and there were against the war and doing actual journalism. Like, do you have any hard evidence? No, we have these cartoon charts here that show the inside of a bunker here, that there's there's chemical weapons here. So
Yellow cake, uranium.
yeah.
Don't drop that shit.
So
Pray to God you don't drop that shit.
So let's hear the rest of Tulsi's answer.
Now, I served in a war in Iraq, a war that was launched based on lies, and a war that was launched without evidence.
You go.
And this is why I bring up the normal people thing. People start clapping after. That's not like a faked applause, like where you go quiet.
I hope not.
It wasn't one of those.
I don't know. I don't know that.
I really don't think it was.
All right.
To where they pause on purpose, waiting for an applause. That's why I love New York.
No, it's.
Well, come on, clap.
No, it's. I love New York. You gotta wait for the. Please clap.
So
Jeb Bush.
People basically stopped her to applaud for that, and I think that's majority of the fucking country. That's why I always bring up how normal people are looking at things.
Yeah.
That's why I brought it up with the Ilhan Omar thing and the anti-Semitism thing, and people thinking that certain members of Congress favor Israel and a lot of their policies. And like normal people looking at it, it's like they think it's stacked towards one side, to where they're always helping Israel. Just a normal person looking at it. That's why I brought that up. And I think we have another example here.
And so the American people were duped. So as a soldier, as an American, as a member of Congress, it is my duty and my responsibility to exercise skepticism anytime anyone tries to send our service members into harm's way or use our military to go in and start a new war.
May I just ask a follow about that? Because Congress...
Stop. He's a dictator, though, right?
Lady in red. Won't interrupt you if you heard anything bad.
He's a baby killer, though, right?
Yeah.
Right? Say that. Say it. She I don't think she would let her go.
Oh.
It's like, no, we're skipping this commercial break. Is he a baby killer? Come on, say it.
God, it's a scene everywhere.
Huh?
Fuck, it's everywhere.
Yeah, I know.
I know where we're at. I know we're in hell right now.
Yeah, they kind of overdid it. It looks like one of those like overzealous YouTubers where there's things like it's turd flinging monkey where there's things going on everywhere.
You know where you're at. You're standing on CNN. We're watching CNN live. There's two fucking gigantic CNN fucking like they're lit.
Yeah, you get bored.
The background is like
you get bored and start to doze off. Remember, the last thing you'll remember is the CNN logo.
Yeah, I know.
The Defense Department, the United Nations agree that the Assad regime used chemical weapons against its own people. So, as president, would you trust the conclusions of your government?
Now, I think this is going to be a great answer. If I'm remembering this correctly, this is a great answer, and would instantly put her at number one for me. It'd be like Secretary of State. Like, I want you sort of like, or as Secretary of Defense, or something like that. Something where she has a heavy hand in what the military does. Let's hear that answer.
Well, like I said, we have in our recent past a situation where our own government told lies to the American people and to the United Nations, for that matter, to launch a war. So what I'm saying is it is our responsibility to exercise due diligence, to ask the tough questions, to get the evidence before we make those very costly decisions about how and when and where our military is used.
While we're on the topic of Syria.
Now, I don't remember, but I'm guessing she's going to follow up again with what I thought. Like, come on, just say he's a dictator, say he's evil. Come on, say it. Then they'll cut it into a clip and run it 24/7.
Yeah.
So far, great fucking answer. It's like, well, they've lied and had phony evidence before. Very recently, actually.
Why the fuck would I trust them?
Why would I just trust their word for it?
You tell me who would trust your government?
He's got like,
I don't trust them. Look what they did.
You have the corrupt assholes who want to go to war for profit, or for other things.
Sure.
Then you have the ignorant, like, 5-star generals who are just thinking war 24/7.
Yeah, I know.
So we're like, what? We're going to war? Let's go.
And the other thing is this.
I did it. They can do it.
Wait, James, it's different people. How come it keeps happening? Like every don't tell me it's different people. Yeah, General so-and-so died. Oh, the new one took his place doing the same shit.
Flo actually would bring that up.
Who?
Flo.
Who that?
Your rapper.
Oh.
Flo would bring that up. He's like, every 20 fucking years there's another war. They want to lower the population.
Fucking.
You need to get rid of some of these new generation kids. Every 20 years you watch it. Let's continue. All right, let's hear the follow-up from Dana Bash.
This week, Syrian refugees in Jordan, they requested that the first international criminal court case against the Syrian government commence. You met Bashar al-Assad in 2017. Do you believe that Assad is a war criminal?
Yeah, there you go. Now, to be fair, there's a population that wants to know that answer. Usually they have blue check marks and they hang out on Twitter all day.
Yeah.
Usually those guys, but I guess, they should be represented too.
Mm-hmm.
I think that the evidence needs to be gathered. And as I have said before, if there is evidence that he has committed war crimes, he should be prosecuted as such.
But you're not sure now.
Everything that I have said requires that we take action based on evidence. The evidence is there. There should be accountability.
Okay, we're going to get to our next audience.
So that's the answer I should have heard when she was on The View. It's like, oh, we need evidence first. But I don't know what happened. Light's too bright.
Sometimes I really wonder like how far I'd get.
What?
Answering these questions.
Before you choke someone out.
Well, think of it more of as I wouldn't answer it so politically correct.
I think you would hire a guy to punch. So you don't hit someone innocent. Just
Can you imagine? It's like, just do say, can't do it. Just put 20 in his pocket.
Don't worry, folks. I hired him to do this. He's a stuntman.
That's a good one. We'll use that.
All right, so the next question is going to be related to Ilhan Omar. People must think we're like obsessed with her story, but really, it's just happened to be in the news.
I'm only talking about it because someone else is gonna fucking lie about it. So.
Well, yeah, it happened to be in the news, and the right dumbasses happen to step up and say shit.
All right.
So it's like that's a reason.
Its question. It comes from Beth Gendler, who is the executive director of the National Council of Jewish Women in Minnesota.
By the way, this lady's fine. It's the CNN asshole who's gonna try to spark the Ilhan Omar thing.
And also the daughter of a Holocaust survivor.
Thank you, Beth.
Thank you. Thank you, Congresswoman. As a co-founder of the Muslim and Jewish Women of Minnesota Policy Collaborative, I'm troubled by the increase in both Islamophobia and anti-Semitism that's infecting discourse on both sides of the political aisle.
I don't even want to talk about it.
Fair enough.
Regardless of where it comes from, it puts both of our communities in real danger. As president, what can you do in terms of policy and position to combat racism and bigotry no matter where it comes from?
Thank you.
There's nothing you can do with policy to do that. The fuck? I'm just being honest. There's nothing you could fucking do. These are ethereal things.
No, there's nothing.
Like, how can you legislate happiness, huh? It's like, how are you going to do that, Tulsi? Like, I can't. Can't legislate happiness.
People think that they can do that is looking through like some sort of kaleidoscope where they can only fucking.
Yeah.
I hope I said that correctly. Point is, it's like tunnel vision.
Yeah.
So the only way you can make things better is by making a new system or making additions to the system we already have. They'll make people happy. It's like, no.
Yeah.
No.
You can't. If you can't legislate happiness, you can't legislate hatred.
Mm.
And I'm talking about the core thing, not the someone said a mean word hatred.
Yeah.
I don't even know if that's hatred. That should just be ignorance or a goof or whatever the fuck it is. But yeah, you can't legislate those type of things. Let's continue.
Thank you, Beth, and thank you for your leadership in this area. And this is so important. We see incidents occurring far too often where there is not only hateful words and bigotry, but actual violence being used against people because of the color of our skin or the way that we choose to worship. As a practicing Hindu, I have been on the receiving end of Hindu phobia and bigoted attacks. The very first time that I ran for Congress in 2012, my Republican opponent that time said on television that I was not qualified to serve in Congress because my being a Hindu contradicted the United States Constitution. Unfortunately, even now, as I stand before you here today and running for president, those Hindu-phobic attacks continue. Attacks against Christians, Muslims, Jews, atheists, people of all different religions cannot be allowed to stand. And what is most important is to lead from the front. Yes, as President of the United States, I will do that in calling out and condemning those bigoted attacks. But this is something that each and every one of us has the opportunity to do when we are confronted with such bigotry. It is only when we stand together and speak out against and condemn this kind of bigotry and the violent acts that sometimes occur as a result that we can actually change, make that real change we know we need to see.
And Congresswoman, if you want to sit.
Notice she said, I'll pass legislation that makes it completely, like, you know?
Yeah, she can't. She knows she can't.
Yeah, I know.
So she has to go with,
we all have to do as a
if
collective.
someone does something bad, I'm going to say it's bad.
Yeah.
It's like, there's something you could do, but it's not going to be through law.
Yeah. Like, you know, if you say some stupid shit, Jordan's going to be dragged throughout the street and, you know, by horseback. No.
Let's continue. Okay, so Dana Bash, I think that's her name. She's going to bring up the Ilhan Omar situation.
I just want to ask you a follow-up question on this very topic because you voted this past week to condemn anti-Semitism and other forms of hate. And this vote, of course, came after your fellow Democratic Congresswoman Ilhan Omar suggested that support for Israel in Congress is, quote, all about the Benjamins, and criticized lawmakers just this past week for supporting Israel as potentially having, quote, allegiance to a foreign country. What do you think about these statements, and do you think this is anti-Semitic?
Dollar bills, y'all.
I believe it was Glenn Greenwald who implied AIPAC doing something, and then she just followed up with, it's all about the Benjamins, baby. So I don't know if she said all of that. A lot of people are doing that. Shapiro's probably the worst, to where he takes a small narrative and turns it into a fucking novel.
Yeah.
That's what it seems like to me. I don't know. But,
cash rolls everything around me. Cream, get the money. Dollar bills, y'all.
And it seemed to me, once again, just looking from the outside, it looks like a self-fulfilling prophecy. As in, people are getting up in arms when you start criticizing Israel.
Yeah.
And they're like, that's anti-Semitic. It's like, well, it's okay to criticize Israel.
I know. It's like, hey, man, what, did
like,
you get
we are criticizing it.
Yeah.
No, it's anti-Semitic.
Yeah, did I see you warming up before this event happened? No? Like they're stretching and shit, ready to go to fight before anything bad happens. You know what I mean?
Yeah. They're just breathing exercises.
Again, it's like, yeah, I only warmed up my muscles and practiced shooting before today happened. Like, huh? Like, you're ready. Self-fulfilling prophecy, you know.
So let's hear Tulsi's answer. I think she runs around a bit until the very end. But for the most part, I think she runs. Very possibly. Let's hear it, though.
Well, let's look at the bigger issue here. The bigger issue is There's a couple, actually, of making sure that as members of Congress and as people in this country, we can have open dialogue about our foreign policy.
Yeah, I know.
You know, as there are criticisms levied about dual loyalty. Again, as I mentioned in the last question,
Mike's right there.
I've been on the receiving end of those types of attacks, so I can understand how offensive they can be.
Be fired.
Where just because I am a Hindu, people assume that therefore I must be loyal to some other interest or some other place.
But what about these specific statements? You're talking broadly. These specific statements.
I have to say, like, I'm not into Chads. Okay.
Were they anti-Semitic?
There are people who have expressed their offense at these statements. I think that what Congresswoman Omar was
Just say it, Tulsi. Just say the fucking answer.
Trying to get at was a deeper issue related to our foreign policy. And I think there's an important discussion that we have to be able to have openly, even though we may end up disagreeing at the end of it, that we've got to be able to have that openness to have the conversation.
But you're not willing to go as far as saying it's anti-Semitic.
Is what she was trying to bring up was something that was a deeper issue. Okay. And I don't believe that her intent was to cause any offense to anyone.
Okay, let's get back to the audience.
I think she could have answered that one better.
Yeah, way easier. Ready? Watch this. Go ahead, ask me.
Was Ilhan Omar's comments anti-Semitic?
Nah.
Okay, moving on.
Next
question
bang,
from
bang.
Bill from Idaho. Tulsi?
No. Bill from...
What's your waist size? I have an internet site and...
it's like this. Tulsi, what's your sign? And that one's like, next one's from Matthew from West Newbury, Massachusetts. Hello, Governor.
I know.
It's like, what?
He just speaks like...
Hello, Governor.
Speaks Chinese or something.
It's like, oh, hello.
Tulsi
Gabbard.
Yes.
Huh?
And another one.
What?
Vincent James was like, yes.
What do you mean?
They're trying to change our language.
Oh, that shit. Yes.
Press number 4 for American. It's like, shut up.
Press
Shut
number
up.
4 for
Shut the fuck up. What's wrong with this guy? Okay. We're going to skip ahead to 1540 something.
What's your waist size? What cup size? Anything like this?
Get that timestamp out real fast. 15 something. 1543 or something like that.
Probably 46, but hold up. 1546.
All right. Beautiful. Okay, so I guess she just answered something on Medicare for all.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
then this is a free country. They'd be able to do that.
Let's get back to the audience. I want to go now to Joseph Jaffe, a marketing consultant from Connecticut. Joseph.
Aloha.
See, they're infiltrating our country. They're here to ask about socialism.
No offense,
The foreigner.
but
He looks British.
I know.
We're racial profiling.
I know. Well, I can say it. I'm allowed to. You can't.
So here's the question. I think it's about socialism.
Mm-hmm.
I think he actually makes a good point here. Let's hear it.
Hello, and thank you for taking my question.
You see
I
that shit?
believe
Pause
the
it.
2020 general...
Yeah, I just saw him put down his teacup. Telling you. Telling you.
No,
he's
it's like this.
No. He's like, he's like, microphone. He's like,
Oh, I'm about to go play some footy. Let's go play some footy.
playing croquet.
Let's hear his question.
election is going to be a single issue vote, and that single issue is going to be socialism. Right now, the democratic legacy is being warped and repositioned as a socialist agenda. So Congresswoman...
Bring it back. Bring it back. Last thing I'm going to say, it's like Tulsi just interrupts him. Cookies or crumpets? What? What is it? Cookie? He's not one of us, get him!
Alright, we're just gonna start from the beginning with this fucking question.
1776 will commence again!
I'm not editing shit. Deal with it.
Back to the audience. I want to go now to Joseph Jaffe, a marketing consultant from Connecticut. Joseph.
Aloha. Right.
Hello, and thank you for taking my question. I believe
England.
the 2020 general election is going to be a single issue vote, and that single issue is going to be socialism. Right now, the Democratic legacy is being warped and repositioned as a socialist agenda. So, Congresswoman, my question for you is as follows. How will you counter this perception? Because as they say in marketing, perception is reality. Yeah. And in doing so, restore the democratic ideals to their original truths.
Yeah.
That's a great question, because I think that's their strategy and that's their only chance. And I don't even think there is a chance for it. It's to scare young people and audiences of the Red Elephant guy and Stefan Molyneux fans. They can scare them with socialism, the word socialism, and Ben Shapiro fans. Just use the word socialism and scare people into voting for you. But I don't think it's going to work. Bernie's going to fucking run over him. Just right up fucking over him with a, titanium blade lawnmower. Just
no, it's going to be power. And then runs over that dude. Then he backs up.
Yeah. So I think Bernie's going to murk him on that.
I don't trust him, though.
I think one of the other things is Trump's going to use the wall again. That's why he's almost like purposely not getting it done so that he can use it again for the next election.
Watch out.
Not going to work.
Watch out for a false flag.
Yeah.
I'm anticipating it.
See,
another reason for you to fearmonger and build yourself up.
Yeah.
It's like campaign strategy. We're going to bomb this area right over here. And we're going to make sure the terrorists are from...
Yeah.
Whoever
the Democratic candidate is, they better have a good answer on Venezuela if that shit is still like up in the air at the time of the election. They better have a good answer for that, because that will end the wall thing, and that'll also play a role in the socialism thing. Maybe more so with the wall, though, as far as like why are people trying to get into this country? What are we doing? Like, is there anything we're doing in these countries that may force people's hands, or like we can't survive here? We got to find some place that has more opportunity for us. So the Venezuela thing will be a huge question, I think, for normal people. For the political pundits on CNN, they won't give a shit. They'll only care if you say he's a dictator or not. That's the only answer they want to hear. Is he a dictator or is he not? That's all they want to hear. They don't want to hear the U.S. policies in these areas that is affecting immigration greatly. Shout out to Latino Superman. So let's hear Tulsi's response to this. Since socialism is going to play a large role as a talking point and a scary word, how is she going to defend against that if Trump tries to use that?
It's an important question, and we do this by not falling into this trap of labels that is being set and focusing first and foremost on the people. So you can, and people use all kinds of labels to name this or to name that. And if you pay attention, you'll notice the only reason they're using those labels is to try to pit one group of us against the other, is to try to tear one part of our country away from the other, to divide us as a nation. This goes against the very principles that our founders had for us as a United States of America. And so it's important for this reason and for every other reason why we get into public service to focus first and foremost on serving the people of this country by providing the services and the care, the best care that we can, meeting those needs, working together, bringing the diverse ideas that we have to find that best solution, whether those ideas are coming from Democrats or Republicans or independents, taking away all of those barriers and say, how can we best serve? That is our mission. And that's what I'll deliver on as your president. Thank you. Thank you.
Actually,
yeah.
CNN hostess. Actually.
So far, that's the best possible answer you can give. Mm-hmm. It's like, why are we talking about labels? What's a good idea and what's a bad idea? She essentially said that.
Yeah.
Let's see if there's a follow-up.
Congresswoman, I understand what you're saying about labels, but that's how we define and understand where people come from ideologically and philosophically.
Wrong.
So,
no.
That's when I would stand there. Hopefully I wouldn't get judged because it's a woman. I'd go.
Yeah. There's probably so many different sections and categories of socialism to where you can't just say socialism.
No, it's ridiculous. That's like saying like the left.
Yeah.
You're leaving out a whole bunch of like the wide spectrum.
How you recognize a person is their ideas, the actual idea, not the label of the idea. What the fuck? I don't know, man. That sounded dumb as fuck.
That smile is for like, you're wrong. I hope.
Let's hear Tulsi's response to it.
What about capitalism? Are you a capitalist?
See, here's the thing with all these labels and as you said, how they're used to define people and where they're coming from. But as you see, so many of these labels are misused, misunderstood to the point
how would you define
where people
yourself?
Don't have any idea what they even mean anymore.
So you're not a capitalist?
I'm an independent-minded person. I'm a Democrat, and my sole focus and purpose is to figure out how we can best serve the people of this country.
Okay. Hold it right there.
Smile through your teeth, fucking red.
Best possible answer there.
Huh?
That's the best possible answer you could have there. Oh,
are you a socialist?
Yeah.
Sit the fuck down. Sit down.
Well, she's asking if she was a capitalist. Either way,
you know what I mean.
Either way, she's like, I'm an independent thinker. It's like, duh. That's the right answer, straight up.
I would have been.
I'll use capitalistic principles here. I'll use socialistic.
After I'm done beating up my hired, the hired. What do you call it?
No, you want to make it exciting, so he has to be like a fake goon.
Okay.
To where he's like almost like he's faking like he's fighting back, but really you just beat the shit out of him.
Okay. Well, there's a table near us, right?
Gives you some endorphins.
Power bomb. Actually, I don't know, man. I like it better when people were blunt. Like, am I this? What does that mean? Tell me. You tell me. What does that mean to you? I asked you to answer your question. I need to know what you mean.
And that's why we take the approach of put the kids to bed, let the adults talk. See how these politicians have to talk like children to people? Like, here's really nice and blah, blah, blah. And I guess Trump sort of broke out of that lane, which is why it made him popular. Like, yeah, he's anti PC culture. Yeah, anti SJW. Yeah. And then he left you to dry because he didn't give a fuck about you.
No, he doesn't care. He doesn't care. Gave us more jobs. He gave us more jobs.
More time to not work on myself. I'll just work this job. I got more hours.
Yeah,
fuck, man. That could change people. You hear that, guys? That could actually change. But, if you want to hold on to this because my granddaddy was a coal miner, my dad was a coal miner, I'm a coal miner, and my son's going to be a coal miner. If you want to stick to that, okay. But the unexamined life is not worth living. I'll leave you with those words. So, that's it for us. I give her a 2 out of 3. She nailed 2 out of 3 of them, of the 3 questions that we listened to. The Ilhan Omar one was just a blank to me, but the other 2 were pretty good answers.
Not enough for me.
Yeah.
Not enough. That's all I'm going to say.
I still give her a 2 out of 3. It's like grading kids. It's like, oh, good job. Maybe you can move up a step. But for now, dealing with the political level that we're at, I give her a 2 out of 3. All right, that's it from us. Please subscribe if you like. Always comment, agree, disagree, whatever. Let it be known. If you want to call in, let us know beforehand. Put a comment or a message or something like that. Let us know. We'll let you call in. If you want it recorded or you want it off the air, up to you. Please consider donating to Devon's Journey to Recovery. The link is in the description box. The website is in the intro to this video. Washed Over with Metric, the best band ever, ever. That's right, they're the best. And with that said, give this video a thumbs down.
Say you wanna get in.